How do there, chums? It's I, Captain Steve, and today, chums, I'm just doing a video about bugs and squiffiness in No Man's Sky. Last time I'd done a squiffiness video, Hello Games addressed a lot of the squiff and managed to fix a lot of it. Heck yes, they did. So yes, I think it was a bit of a triumph. So here we go with episode 2 of Squiffy and Jankiness. So at the moment you've got this area of the screen. As you go over this side area, you can see your elliptical get bigger as you go over the patch notes. And there's a reason for that, because if you hit it, it brings up the patch notes screen. Okay, fantastic. However, when you go into play game, and then you go to the same area of the screen, you'll notice your elliptical changes shape again, as if you can hit something there, but you press a button, nothing actually happens. But it's just a little bit of squiff that is picking up from the previous page as overlaid onto this page. So even on the title screen, before you even get in to play the game, squiffiness! Squiffiness! Address to squiffiness! Also, when you actually hover over the community event, it doesn't tell you how much time's remaining, but you go on to another one, and it changes to how much time's remaining. Surely that should happen when you go over the community event. You know what I mean? And look at this. When you go into new game, and you try to start a new community event, we're going to do it in a second, but it says there that the actual event is finished. It says expedition complete, and you can't actually hit into it now. And there's like something like 16 hours remaining, but it started doing this as soon as we tripped into 24 hours remaining. It won't let you start a new expedition. Yet this expedition, Expedition 2, you can do it in about 3 hours. You know, without really even trying too hard. I raced Zane. Zane did it in an hour and a half. Ballista Cola has done it in a blistering speed of an hour and like 15 or 20 minutes. Freaking mental guy. Yeah. Me, I done it in 2 hours, 2 minutes, which was about as fast as I could go. But yeah, if you're not trying and you're not pressing too hard, you can do it within 3 hours. There you go, 16 hours remaining. So technically, people that want to hit this up right now can't, even though they could, in theory, complete it. Or if not complete it, at least get somewhere through the phases and enjoy some of the expedition. So I don't know why they don't let people go right up to like the final hour. But there we go. You know, it could warn people. You do realise this event is about to end. Yeah, you're probably not going to get everything. Yeah. Another thing is I'm inside my freighter here. You've got these really small doorways, and we've now got large haulers and large explorer ships that would clip all the edges of these sort of doorways, and it sort of just breaks immersion a little. Anyhow, here we go. I'm on my actual freighter now, chums, and I'm upstairs a bit on the gantry, and you see that side text, the actual mission text over the side there. Well, no, the mission text, the actual chat text, the multiplayer chat text. You can't turn it off unless you turn off the full HUD. It'd be nice just to be able to turn off that chat text, especially when you're on console and you haven't got a keyboard and you can't really type messages in there. And you get all sorts in there, all different sorts of languages. It's a shame you can't sort of set it so it's region specific in your actual instance when you go into networking, you know, region locked or something. So the only languages you are going to see there is English, you know. I do a lot of content creation and streaming, and I don't know whether there's swear words appearing over there when I've got PC players speaking in other lingos. I could end up getting a little bit of trouble for that. Another thing, I can actually go through all of these and harvest these. Now normally the grow back time is about 5 or 6 minutes. You know, it hasn't got much of a cooldown, but there is a cooldown. Same with all those canisters, all those red barrels and things. But there is a little exploit. You can just run down the stairs on your freighter. Here we go, run down here. Run back up the stairs, and guess what's happened? They've all grown back like lickety-split. Frickin' heck yes they have. Yeah, it's like quantum physics. When you're not observing something, they behave differently. We've got quantum physics in our frickin' carbon rocks. Yeah, I don't think that's by design. I think that's a bug, and it's a bit of squiff. Squiffiness! Yeah, fix your squiff. Heck yes. Right, now it doesn't seem to matter how often I take pictures of my bases, and I upload my bases with the pictures of my bases, and the pictures all vanish. Yeah, they seem to vanish update to update. I don't know what's going on. I think it's server-side, but yeah, it almost makes it feel like taking pictures of your bases is completely redundant. Heck yes, I wish they could fix that, because I do take lovely pictures of bases. Heck yes I do. Right, the refiners, these are, well, neutron processors I should say. Call them what they are, Steve, call them what they are. Here you go, I'm going to put in a quantity of around 100. Now, the maximum it says that it can do is 100 at a time. Fantastic, there we go. 100 is going to process. It's going to take 4 minutes to process that 100 there. Lovely, so I'm going to stick in 100 and I'm going to leave it be. I'm going to leave it be for 4 minutes. I'll come back in 4 minutes' time, shall I? Well, if you did, you'd be freaking yeah, you'll be pretty peed off because actually it takes 1 minute 55 seconds and it only does freaking 50. It lies to you, chums. And you can see that I've got a whole row of them, and that's caught me out so many freaking times. Yeah, it's not good. It's a complete waste of freaking time. So yeah, another thing, you go over to Johnny 5, so this is quite a new one. I haven't reported this to Zendesk because I don't know if this is a bug or whether it's by design and something new is going to happen once this expedition ends. At the moment, across any save, it doesn't matter if you've done the expedition or not, you can buy a freaking myth beacon. Not just one, you can buy 1,000 of them. 1,000 of them. They don't even seem to be consumable. They don't seem to vanish when you use them. So I'm really not sure why anybody in their right mind would buy 1,000 of them, yet I have had people say that they've bought multiples of them in my comments and saying, I can't get the actual frigate. And I'm like, well, did you do the expedition? No, I just bought the myth beacon. And I'm firing it up in the right planet in the coordinations, I just jumped there. I'm like, no, you have to complete the expedition. They're like, so why sell the myth beacon to me? Why have I just gone and wasted 80 Quicksilver? I'm like, don't ask me. I don't frigid know. Ask Hello Games. Fire him something across on the Zendesk. Why are we buying myth beacons? I'm hoping the text is going to change straight after this event to give an idea of what the myth beacon is. I'm hoping it's going to be related to better Quicksilver missions, because current Quicksilver missions are a little bit shite, to be fair. And yeah, but it feels like unfinished. What's going on with it? It's pretty darn odd. And talking of unfinished things, there's quite a lot of NPCs in the old Nexus that are beautifully crafted. Kronos here is awesome. At least he's got a function. You can hand stuff into him, but you can only hand in one at a frickin' time, which is painful as. I've nearly fell asleep handing in stuff to him over a quantity of 50. It's boring as fudge, and they could seriously do with changing that up a bit. If you do hand in 50, maybe you get 20% less nanites for doing it or something. I don't know. But you've got these beautifully modelled characters that just stand here and sort of kick at thin air, do the odd little gestures. They say the same thing over and over again. They have real no rhyme or reason or sense of purpose, and it'd be nice if these were mission givers, quest givers, something like that, or even if we could do expeditions that tied in their backstories to give them some sort of sense of purpose, or even had different sort of expeditions we could do at multiple times for these guys, because at the moment they just feel like eye candy. So here we go, we're heading over, you can see there's a weekend mission that's actually up there at the moment. So eliminate hazardous flora. We've had eliminate hazard flora like 4 times out of like the 8 times of them doing this or something, which is a little bit ridiculous. Also, people can actually hit up this mission and stand there and just sort of wait and hold up the mission. So if you are in a fire team of 4, you can't actually run the mission without waiting for that other person to disappear. They need personal lobbies or something. Now this one is a little bit like the freighter niggle that I had at the start, and I must stress, a lot of these are niggles. I mean, none of these are sort of game-breaking or anything, these are just quality of life things. But look at this, you can see there the sort of like light arc of the entrance, and then following the another light arc further in. And all the ships, they don't fly through the entrance, they used to, they don't anymore, they fly through the frickin' ceiling in between those two runners. Now, I do a lot of ship hunting, I do a lot of it inside the station, because sometimes they follow patterns, and it's just immersion breaking stuff. And it's stuff that didn't used to happen. I can't understand why it's happening now. I mean, it's been happening for probably about a good 8 months or so. But yeah, before that, they actually flew in through the frickin' door. Heck yes, they did. Right. Freighter interactions and battles. Now, usually when you encounter these, they would come up with a message saying, you know, can you help us? We're in distress, we're in distress. Doesn't matter even if you say no. You still can't do anything. You can't scan a planet, you can't use your pulse drives. It's a pain in the frickin' butt. You're kind of almost forced to fight, and you're forced to help the freighter. It'd be nice if you could actually pick a side and actually choose to assist the pirates and blow the shite out of the freighters. Because it could be more rewarding, let's face it. And plus also it was kind of hinted that we could actually do that in the combat trailer and stuff. Pick a faction, pick a side. Heck yes, make a difference, blah blah blah. Doesn't make a lick of difference. Doesn't matter if your faction rating goes all the way down, you're still going to get the same trade deals. They're not going to treat you any different in the stations, so you may as well be a pirate and do all sorts of nasty shenanigans. Yeah, no punishment whatsoever. It'd be nice if they added in a punishment system, but also let you skip the freighter battles and all the sort of nastiness that puts aside and stops you from actually progressing. Photo mode. Okay, if I press triangle to remove that menu, those glyphs ain't coming back anymore. This is a new bug as well. This never used to be a thing. When I say this never used to be a bug before, you try getting the glyphs to appear in VR mode. You can't get the glyphs to appear for love nor money in VR mode. Yeah, so you have to get somebody that's not in VR mode to take the picture, or exit VR, get your actual glyph picture, and then go back into VR. They need to get that sorted. Also, in VR, if you go to the Galactic Center, and you try to actually complete the game by jumping through the galactic core, good luck, you can't actually select the galactic core to jump to the next freaking universe, or galaxy, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you can see here, I actually reloaded my game. I've gone into camera mode, the glyphs still haven't come back. Sometimes you have to quit out to mode select, go right back to the title screen, reselect your game, go back in, and then they'd appear, or sometimes even exit the full game, shut it down, go back in, and then they reappear. But this isn't the first time this has happened with these glyphs. This has happened a couple of times, and it keeps breaking, so maybe there's a bit of dodgy code there, I don't know. Living ships. Now, the living ships, yeah, they don't really look like they fit the rest of the game, and it kind of feels that we're missing something. I mean, they came from void eggs, they came from the void. Can we go into the void? Can we see these sort of ships a little bit more often? Are they going to be an antagonist? Are they going to be a new enemy type? Who knows? But at the moment you can't put rockets in them, you can't put scanners in them, you can't improve their launch thrusters, so they're greatly underutilized in comparison to the rest of the ships. No matter how good they look, I don't really see people using them. And apparently if you land them inside the actual Nexus, that's what causes the screen wobble or something inside the Nexus, or at least that's people's theories. The screen wobble is another bug that I really would like address, but I couldn't actually get it to happen during this video sequence. It always happens when you don't want it to. They've made the Explorer ships bigger, and you can see here that the wings are intersecting with the actual station, which seems a little odd. They seem too big for their britches now, these Explorer ships. They do look very fantastic though, it must be said, but they no longer fit in the station, so it's a little bit odd that they would go and tweak the size of the ships without really looking at where they're landing, which is disappointing. It's another sort of quality of life niggle. And another niggle is the landing pads at the archives. There's some real squiffiness going on here. As soon as you pull your ship to one of these landing pads, guaranteed within about 10 seconds, another ship will fly through the scenery and land on your ship. Almost like your ship is a ghost ship. What the fudge is going on there? And yeah, even if I go up to another landing pad and try to call my ship to the other landing pad when it's vacant, it won't actually come to the landing pad, even when that landing pad is free for it to land on, if it's already on a landing pad in the archive. It's like it sees the whole archive as one big landing pad, and it doesn't see whether it's vacant or not. It just looks to see if it's got an NPC ship there, I think. I'm not too sure, but there's something really squiffy about the landing pads at archives. Some of the rest, I don't see this happen all too often. Sometimes it happens in the Nexus with player-on-player ships. Here we go. We've got a free landing pad. Now let's see if I can call my ship to this landing pad. Okay, there's a little geck using it at the moment. Excuse me, buddy, I need to use this. I've hit it up. Nothing actually happened, but it still takes your nav data. Yeah, it still takes your freaking nav data. Yeah, so let's do that again. Brilliant, because I've got nav data growing out of the freaking Shazoo. And no, that's not my ship coming in, that's a little shuttle. But you watch this, if I now move my ship onto some land space, if I move it onto the actual planet's surface, it kind of feels like then, you know, it's not on a landing pad in the archive. This is why I think it's seeing all pads in the archive as one. Let's just call my ship to a bit of planetary landscapes. Here we go, let's go over to some free space over here. So there's my ship there on that landing pad. You know what, I think there's another ship also landed inside my ship there, because I don't have those tail fins there. I think there might be a little shuttle under my ship. Let's have a look. Let's move my ship and see. Yes, there you go. There's a shuttle under my ship. Odd. Very odd. I mean, they said that they've fixed this countless times as well. But here we go. I'm going to try and call it now onto this pad that's actually occupied. Okay, there we go. And guess what? There's my ship landing on an NPC ship. So it's completely squiff catered. Yes, this is squiffy as fudge. Oh yes, I've only just realised I'm actually in my pyjamas. Look, it's got little koi carps on. Oh, isn't that sweet? Yes. Yeah, I don't sleep often, people. So, yeah, this has actually gone midnight that I'm making this video right now. Yeah, 21 minutes past midnight. There we go. Another thing, if I'm using my terrain manipulator on a planet, and I'm going to use the one that makes it look like a camera lens, like this one here, there we go. So yeah, it's quite cool, that little image, isn't it? It's quite nice. I'm going to call in my ship, and I'm going to fly up to the Nexus, and then I'm going to exit my ship. Now what it does is it keeps the last thing that you've had out on planet's surface on your person up in the Nexus. And sometimes I've noticed if you're on an extreme hazardous world and you get hit by a storm, you know you get all that screen sort of sludge around the side. If you jump in your ship and take off and get out the atmosphere before the storm ends, you actually keep that haze ring as well when you go into the Nexus. And it's all sort of green or yellow or whatever, blue, or got frost lines on it. You get the idea. And it sticks with you while you're in the Nexus until you do like a reload or whatever, or fly back out. Again, it's just a little bit squiffy, but whatever you've picked up from the planet, so here we go, if I jump out of the ship now, it's still going to get my terrain manipulator and that horrible big icon. It looked fine on the planet, but then when you're up here and you're trying to do things and interact with people, it just seems a little bit shite having that there. There is a workaround, just swap your multi-tool to another one if you've got more than one multi-tool, and you'll get a different sort of, ellipse or whatever. And that one's a little bit easier to get around, you know? But yeah, it's just a bit squiffy. I think it should just default to maybe just a little white dot, you know, like you get in the station. It doesn't do it in the stations. Why make it do it in the Nexus? It's just strange. There's also these little lights that light up all the landing pads, and you'd think they would be fixed, but they're not. I don't know whether this is by design, but they hover. They're actually floating above the actual ground. I don't know why this does my nut in so much, but it's squiffy and a little bit sort of odd. It just breaks immersion yet again. They just sort of float. They don't quite sit on the surface. And when you sort of move past them, even in camera mode, they sort of move where they are. You know, camera mode is supposed to give you a still image, but that little camera, it's not quite still. It squiffs around. Squiffy! Squiff him and squiff. Yes, little things niggle me, chums. So a lot of these people are going to say, well, they're not bugs, Steve. They're not bugs. You're being too freaking, picky. Yeah, maybe I am. It's like right now, look, my feet are on the floor. I go over here. No, it's quicksand metal. What the fudge is going on there? We've got squiffy floor metal. Over here, perfectly fine. Back over there, perfectly not fine. Okay? Yeah. Maybe I'm too fussy, but I did send a video like this to Hello Games in the past, and all credit to them, they fixed a lot of the squiffiness, and ironed out a lot and polished it. So you know what, I'm going to send them this one as well, and hopefully they can do the same again. And now, if you've got things that I haven't picked up on or spoke about inside of this video, please add them to the comments. Heck yes, that'd be freaking awesome, because yeah, it would be nice to see a lot of this fixed. And if you guys want to help, by all means, please do. Put them in the actual comments section. I mean, I don't play every game mode, heck no. But yeah, it'd be mind-blowing if they did fix all these. Please! Polish the game! Yeah, I'm hoping by the anniversary update, they might be able to sneak some of these in and get them polished out, because that would be freaking ace. Yeah, until next time, people, you've been awesome. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again, chums. I want to say a massive, great big thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And thank you to my backers over on Patreon and on YouTube membership. If you do want to support this channel, you could just not skip my adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or stay with Captain Steve a little bit longer and hit something on this screen. Heck yes, and there's also merch on this screen now. Awesome!